Hello, all you market traders and profit takers. This is your Forex University professor at yourforexuniversity.com. We're going to do a forecast and review of the week ending of September the 26th, 2014. September 26th, 2014. My, what a week. What a week. The most profitable week I've seen in a very long time. Look at this. 900 Is that 53? 953 pips this week. That's a lot of pips. That's a lot of pips. I'll say it one more time. That's a lot of pips. That's a lot of pips. That's a lot of pips. Well, boy, that's big time right there. It was beautiful. And actually it could have been even more, but there were a few trades that we put in that the market came right close to it and barely just and turned around and went back and left us there, sitting there. And even better, I've never admitted this before, but these trades that I show you and what I talk about here and what's posted on the website, these are the lazy trades. Okay, these are those lazy trades that you put in and you just put it in at beginning of the open area of the open day, and you come back at the close. You're not really doing anything other than that. uh, you know you're not very active in your trading, so there's still more money to be made than what you see here. Listen, let's get into the review. I don't want to get too deep into doing, bragging about what a great week was, but it's worth bragging about. I mean, that is just beautiful. 953 pips this week. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at the market. Let's do that. Aussie on the week, as we can see, after we broke out of that consolidation these last 3 weeks ago, um, you can see we're moving down. We're doing just what we expect. Um, so we're still bearish. We're approaching a GAN level here at the 86.59.58, which is also a bottom point from when we took off. We could create a double bottom, give or take a few pips here and there. It can happen. It almost happened here, but it's a little lopsided. Made it to the next GAN level, which was not, by the way, a GAN level at the time that this happened. Okay, but this is where we are, and we do have, it looks like there may be a resistance point right in this area here where we've got these crossings here. We're looking at 89.93-ish, 89.90s or so. And if you look across to your left, you'll also see some areas where that particular price level had some significance, like right in here and right in here. A little hesitation here. So there's some validity to that. It's about halfway or so, 382 between the two GAN levels. Anyway, we're bearish. That's all I can say. On the Aussie right now, it's moving down. We'll look and see how things happen with that support on this GAN level on 86.49, 86.50 area. Oh my, look at the euro. Let's open it up a little bit so we can see more of what we're doing. Again, continuing in the downtrend. The move to the downside is continuing. We're approaching a GAN level as well here, which is at the 125.93. We might see some retracement back to or some kind of correction take place, But for now, as you know, we're bearish. We're also bearish. We had a nice little move back to the upside to correct on the pound before continuing in this down move. And in the short term, this little red line here is more of a short term. This came off of our 4-hour chart, I believe. If we take a look at it, you'll see where the pound was trying to show strength the week before. Yeah, that's it. See the trend that it was on the short term on the pound that we took advantage of. But now in the middle of the week, here we see the close below the trend line. It did not breach it. Okay, but what happened is as you go forward, this is not the profile that we used on the this week, and that's why it's a little bit behind. You'll see that things moved here and it continued on. You had to close. It didn't breach. You didn't breach until here. This actually breached right there. That one, that little one, and then it breached after closing below this trend line. It was kind of a giveaway, actually. At that point, even back here, you can see that right there, and then closed below, and then you had that little, this little bitty star right there. Going underneath that star, it couldn't close back above. It made no moves back to the upside or anything like that, and fell through. You could have been aggressive in doing that, but it's usually a good idea to just follow through with the trend line like we did. So now it's back into the bearish territory, which means we need to set up a trend line to the downside from that high point to here and let it ride and see how things go. We are in a area here from a couple of weeks ago where we had a gap. All right, and so this was kind of like a value area. However, this value area has already seen activity and filling. Okay, it may continue in the direction that it gapped. As we say many times, most traders will agree that gaps tend, keyword is tend, to fill and then continue in the direction of the gap. All right, let's move on into the Kiwi weekly chart. As you can see, it's just steadily moving to the downside. Real strong move. This was our biggest taker this week, was the Kiwi. Shorting it, made the most profit from the Kiwi. The weekly on the Canadian dollar, we got left behind a couple of times, didn't get all the money we could have gotten out of this, but we were long and we'll continue to be long. However, I did keep this in here. Where is it? Let me find it. Okay, wait a minute. That must have been another pair. We're at a 125 target on one of them. I'll find it in just a second. It's coming, I'm sure. But we're still looking at a long position. Now, one thing on this Canadian dollar is that we are at this crossing point, this cross between these two trend lines. We did close above it, which is bullish. So that's one thing. And also, you might want to note the Fibonacci timeline that I talked about last week. We looked like it was going to move there, but it didn't. It's continuing on. The thing about the Fibonacci timeline is it is not an exact, just like anything in market analysis, nothing is an exact 100% science. But it did give us a warning signal that something was happening, and it did for that week. And it may even continue to move, happen this week here and roll over. We're not sure, but sometimes it's a very, very touchy little indicator. But there's definitely some changes that usually take place within these Fibonacci timelines. This change may have been that it's become a stronger move. We'll find that out as we go along. The thing about a Fibonacci timeline is you always want to be careful with it. You don't want it to be your holy grail or your default de facto indicator that you rely on, because it's not. It's not exact to the day and hour all the time, but it just gives you an area of time where you might see something change. And the way you lay it out has a lot to do with it. We'll do that in another video. We get a little more into that. This video is not designed for us to talk about the use of various methods and whatnot. This is simply review and forecast. So I'm going to move on. Look at this one here. The franc is on the move. It's really it's beautiful. It is closed above the 125 target area from this particular Fibonacci. However, it never retraced to anything. So how can you call it a target? Because it didn't retrace. So we'll have to just continue to move on with that. All right. Bullish, bullish, bullish on the dollar. Bullish on the dollar. And the yen again. Uh, we're just moving forward. No retracements taking place really yet for these pairs here, with the exception of this Canadian dollar. And no retracement. We did get a retracement with the pound. Looking at this must be, yeah, that's a 4-hour chart. Back to the weekly. We did get some retracement on the pound. No retracement on the euro, and no retracement so far on the Aussie. So there you have it. We proceed with caution as usual. We are bearish on the Aussie, euro, pound, and Kiwi, bullish on the dollar CAD, dollar franc, and dollar yen this week. We'll keep a close watch and see how it works out. If, by the way, you are interested in subscribing to any of our services, by all means do so. It will aid you and assist you in wonderful situations like we had with this week. You could have been part of that. My. I just love that. The look up 953%. I haven't seen that in so long. That's beautiful. All right. This is your Forex University professor at yourforexuniversity.com, wishing you all the best in your trading, and I hope you are profitable.